Before the flood, heaven fell in silence. The earth was young, wild, and unguarded. Mountains still remembered the voice that shaped them. But one night, light tore through the sky not as fire, but as longing. Angels, radiant and restless, looked upon humanity and saw beauty reflecting their own. "We were made to serve," one whispered, "but what if service feels like solitude?" The stars blinked as if uncertain whose side they were on. The watchers descended through clouds like tears of light, and for the first time since creation, obedience hesitated. Their wings glowed with reverence, not rebellion. Yet every step they took toward mankind dimmed the heavens above. Covenant of distance broke that night, not by command, but by compassion. The sky shivered with prophecy untold, and heaven, for the first time, envied its own creation. They were not evil, they were curious. From mountaintops they watched men build, women sing, children dream. Humanity's laughter stirred memories even heaven had forgotten. They love what they do not understand, one angel said, and that makes them divine. Their names shimmered in secret: Samayaza, Armaros, Sariel, and many more. They gathered beneath the stars to speak forbidden words. "Let us dwell among them." The air trembled, knowing the weight of choice. Each feather that fell was a vow against eternity. When they finally stepped upon the earth, the sky dimmed in mourning. The watchers had traded eternity for experience, and that choice became the seed of both beauty and destruction. Even the stars turned away in silence, and the heavens wrote a warning that still echoes in human hearts. Love was the first sin written in starlight. The angels took wives from among men, not for lust, but for longing. They taught them music from the stars, the secrets of metal, the names of storms. In their embrace, knowledge and passion intertwined. Children were born not human, not divine, but Nephilim, giants of thought and might. The world changed overnight. Mountains cracked beneath their laughter, seas bowed to their play. Yet heaven watched in sorrow. What was pure became power. What was sacred became dangerous. And from that union, the world learned that even light can corrupt through love. The covenant between heaven and earth was sealed in both flame and tears. The dawn that followed never looked the same again, and the night remembered what it lost. When sin wore wings, prophecy was born. The man named Enoch was chosen to witness the impossible angels walking among mortals, their children towering like gods. The watchers came to him pleading, "Write what you see, for heaven will deny it." His pen shook as he recorded the covenant, the marriages, the births, the sorrow. "The sons of God have mingled with the daughters of men," he wrote, "and creation trembles beneath their weight." The book of Enoch became the forbidden chronicle erased by kings, buried by priests. But the words survived in whispers, echoing in ancient temples and dreams. For prophecy cannot die, it only hides until the world is ready to believe it again. The ink glowed with divine regret, and the truth waited for time to forget its fear. Knowledge was their offering, destruction was its shadow. The angels taught men the arts of war, the shaping of swords, the reading of stars. They taught women the craft of beauty and how to weave charm into command. The world flourished and then fractured. Men became gods to each other, and gods became jealous of men. "We gave them wisdom," said Azazel, "and they used it as a weapon." Heaven's silence grew heavy, its patience thinning. What was meant to enlighten now enslaved. The flame that lit creation began to burn it. And in that fire, the first cry of divine regret echoed through eternity. The sky dimmed, and the stars seemed ashamed to shine. For even heaven cannot undo the knowledge it allowed. Heaven can forgive, but not forget. The voice that once whispered creation now thundered judgment. "You have blurred the lines between eternal and mortal," it roared. The mountains bowed, the seas recoiled. Lightning wept down from the firmament. The watchers fell to their knees, trembling not in guilt, but in sorrow. "We only loved," they cried, "and in love we forgot ourselves." But the law of heaven has no room for empathy. Chains of light coiled around their wings, dragging them into the depths. Their cries became storms, their tears oceans, and the earth mourned as the sky sealed itself again. The forbidden covenant had ended, but its consequences had only begun. The thunder faded, but guilt still echoed through the stars. And a voice turned to silence, the cruelest mercy of all. Every sin has descendants. The Nephilim grew restless, hungry, powerful beyond measure. Their footsteps cracked valleys, their voices broke thunder. They devoured not only food, but faith itself. Mortals bowed to them, calling them gods. "We are the bridge," they boasted, "between heaven's flame and earth's dust." But bridges collapse under pride. The voice declared, "My spirit shall not dwell in them forever." The flood began, not with rain, but with tears from the heavens, and in that drowning, innocence tried to cleanse itself. Yet even as the waters rose, the blood of the Nephilim carried memory. And memory cannot drown. The ocean still hums their names beneath the waves, and storms are their unfinished prayers. The fallen were not destroyed, they were buried alive in time. Under mountains of fire and oceans of silence, they slept. Chains forged from the breath of judgment held them. Enoch saw them in vision, their eyes glowing through darkness like distant suns. "Forgive us," they whispered, but heaven did not answer. Ages passed, civilizations rose and fell, but their names lingered in myths. The Greeks called them Titans, the Sumerians Anunnaki, the Hebrews Watchers. All remembered, none understood. The prison was deep, but remembrance was deeper. And through every myth, they still speak, waiting for the covenant to open again. The ground above them trembles when man defies the sky, and their silence waits like breath before thunder. Nothing divine truly dies. In secret traditions, priests of old guarded fragments of their songs. "Do not call them demons," one wrote, "for they are fallen lights still seeking dawn." Their whisper traveled through Babylon, through Egypt, through hidden scrolls of the desert. They warned of man's arrogance, repeating the same sin, creation without reverence. In laboratories, in temples, in ambition, the covenant repeats in every generation. For whenever humanity reaches for heaven without humility, the same fall begins anew. The forbidden bond never ended, it only changed shape. The echo lives inside invention and pride. And history repeats every time the stars are ignored. The Nephilim's blood never vanished, it diluted. Through generations it hid in the veins of kings, warriors, prophets. Some carried strength, others carried madness. A few carried memory. The blood remembers, ancient mystics said, and when the stars align, the old bond awakens. Those born with the mark of light and shadow still walk among us, misunderstood, unclaimed, divine exiles in mortal form. Their dreams burn with memories of wings. And when they cry, the earth listens, for within them sleeps the echo of that first forbidden covenant. The pulse of heaven beats faintly in their hearts, and in their eyes the old light still flickers. Prophecy says the sky will open again. When knowledge surpasses wisdom, when machines mirror creation, the gate will tremble once more. The watchers will rise not as conquerors, but as witnesses. We will return, they said, when men become as gods again. Their arrival will not bring fire but revelation. The hidden will be seen, and the sacred will be rewritten. But this time, the covenant will be different, not between angels and flesh, but between spirit and understanding. And mankind will have to decide, ascend, or repeat. The stars are already shifting in silence, and heaven waits to see what we will choose. Heaven learned from its own sorrow. The voice whispered again, softer this time, "I will not forbid, I will remind." The covenant of fear ended, the covenant of remembrance began. Humanity was offered choice once more, wrapped not in command, but in conscience. Those who listen to the inner voice will feel the same light the watchers once felt, the longing for unity. But unity requires wisdom. And so, heaven waits, patient yet vigilant, for mankind to prove it can hold the divine without breaking. Until then, the stars keep their distance, but their eyes never close. For heaven's patience is the final test, and the test is still unfolding.